Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Sybil with All Things for Beauty. A lot of you been asking me this question: how do I remain motivated? How do I keep the momentum going for me to be consistent? Well, when I started my lifestyle change, it didn't come from a hate place. It wasn't because I needed a lot of the time, by the way. Let me make this clear. A lot of the weight loss that I have went through it it was successful. My biggest one was I lost a little bit over 60 pounds. I was like 60 to 66 pounds. It was great. However, I got extremely sick. I did follow keto. It wasn't worth it for me. I became extremely depressed and so on and so forth. But let's get back to how I remain consistent. So this time around, it was a lifestyle change for me. It was a complete 360. It didn't come from a place because someone made me feel uncomfortable or because someone made a comment about myself that I didn't like or I needed to fit in a dress because of an occasion. It wasn't like that at all. I started it because I wanted this for me. It was from a place of self-love. It was also from a place of the love that I have for my kids, me wanting to be here for them, raising them. And the first thing that I did, it was focusing on my mental health and my emotional health. To me, I feel like if I am healthy emotionally and mentally, everything else gonna come. So I focus on that. I journal. I paid attention to the things that wasn't working for me. If the thing wasn't serving me to where it was making me happy, it was pushing me, it was bringing something positive into my life, I would go down the list. I wasn't focusing on the things that I couldn't change. And I wasn't fitting myself a fake story in where I was in life. I didn't try to be perfect. I didn't try to fit into anyone boxes or into any categories. I didn't attach any label with myself. I did not care to pretend. I did not care to be accepted or to be loved. I did not care for anybody to say great job, Sybil. I did not care what everyone else think. It was just about me, and I just wanted to make sure that whatever it is that I was doing wasn't harmful to my children, wasn't harmful to myself. And also I wanted to clean my environment because I didn't want for me to get tempted. So I stayed to myself a lot. I wasn't looking for something outside to make me feel good about myself. I wasn't looking for someone in the outside to tell me how pretty I was. I wasn't looking for someone to tell me they were proud of me, they appreciate what I was doing. I wasn't looking for that at all. And also, the biggest thing for me was everyone who liked to say to me, why don't you be like this person? Oh, you should follow what this person is doing. I don't care who you were, if it was someone personally in my life or someone like that liked to point and compare people or compare artists to each other, compare brands to each other. I just blocked them because I didn't want that, because I don't believe that people need to be compared. I do feel that everyone, it doesn't matter if you're in the same work of you have the same passion, the same work of the same line of work, there is something you bring to the table that someone will always love you for it. And that's, I see it in the people that I follow, as far as like for weight loss, as far as like lifestyle, or different coaches, different influencers, different makeup artists. Everyone have a different style. Everyone has something unique to bring to the table. I don't believe that everyone should try to fit in one box. I don't believe everyone should try to be a certain way just because that's what society tell them, or that's what's going to please their parents, or that's why your parents love a sibling more than you. I don't believe that at all. So for me, it was more like, okay, girl, this way you have been going, it's not working for you. It's going to take your life, and if you want to be here for your kids, you have to do something different. So I started journaling every single thing. It wasn't journaling about my feeling. I wasn't trying to keep tab on who hurt my feeling, what wasn't working for me, or none of that. I focused on the things that I could have changed and the thing that I was able to change, that I had the power to change. And the more that I pay attention to myself, the more that I stay to myself, I became to where I understand who I was. I understand what my power was. I understand what I like, what I love, what I don't like. I understand myself to where I was able to make boundaries. And it was like, okay, girl, now you know who you are. You mastering who you are. You know your core values. You know what is it that what's for you out there. And the more that I focus on me, looking for the answer inward and not looking for anyone to validate me, I didn't care what other people was thinking, the easier it got. And from there, I had self-control. I had control over my thoughts. So it was like, okay, now if I can control what I think, I'm telling myself my own story. I'm telling myself who I am. If I said I'm going to do this, right then and there, I would do anything that have to, like, any little action. It could be just like, okay, you know what, I'm going to affirm this. I will affirm it, but I will make an action to attach to it. And I would say, I wouldn't make my goal where I would be like, on this day I want to make sure that I do this. No, because life happened. I will set my goals, and the more I would reach them, I would already have other goals that would keep lining up, and I would just keep crossing the one that I worked on. I would be happy with the win. I will clap for myself and stuff like that, but I wouldn't look for people for me to call someone and be like, oh, this is what I did. No, it wasn't like that. I would just like sit and record myself. I will go for a walk. I would be happy. I would put on music and dance. Those are the way I would be clapping for myself. And by doing that, it became where I always wanted to see, girl, what can you do? If you're able to do this, you can do that. It became like I'm always competing with my past self. And it became where, like, I'm never satisfied where I am. I always want to be better than I was yesterday. I never want to get comfortable enough to where I don't push myself. I feel like I want to be great at everything that I do. I want to be self-sufficient. I want to be so healthy where my kids won't have to heal from me. I want all my relationship to just be very smooth. I don't want chaos. I don't want back and forth. I don't want where it's like, oh my God, like, when I mean healthy, I want to have, like, my goal is to have a healthy relationship with everyone, with nature, with myself, with God, with food, with money. That was just it for me. And it just kept on getting better and better. And I felt like my environment was a big thing for me. And for me, my environment was my pets, my kids, my little brother, my husband, and of course, my mom. Everyone else around me, they have their own family. They just like, but if someone, you didn't fit in that category, I don't get mad or anything like that. I don't try to force you into it. I'm like, hi, how are you? And I keep it moving. I keep it cordial. And if someone, you didn't agree with me and stuff like that, I didn't care. It's like, okay, I understand. Like, because to me, I feel like being respectful and respecting others' boundaries is to accept them the way they are. And also to not disagree with them just because that's what they believe. Because I would never want people to put doubt in me. And I feel like the biggest thing that people do when they have younger kids is when they tell them to be like someone else, or they compare two siblings with each other. That makes them bring doubts. And once you start doubting yourself, you stop believing in you. You stop trusting your intuition. And it's like, that's the core, that's your core, that's your mental health, that's having control over your life. And for me, that didn't work for me. So that's how I remain consistent. It's by changing my mindset and how I view everything and protecting myself. And the way I protect myself is by having boundaries set, not based on who the person is or what title they hold, but based on me. It's to protect me. It's